Everyone knows what Brian Kelly needs to do now that he is LSU's new head coach. It's just the order is what everyone's discussing, right? And here's how I feel it should be, prioritized, right? First, first, I think he needs to get his staff together, build his identity, right? Ogeron had a mixed record at best in building his staff. Kelly needs to do better. But that already looks like a challenge when his former offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are staying at Notre Dame, plus a few other assistants. He needs to identify, first off, who's coming to. Wait, no, let me rephrase this. First off, he needs to figure out who on the LSU staff he should keep, right? Maybe what Durante Jones did on the second half of the LSU season when he came to coaching may save him his job. Who knows? Or he could start by convincing wide receiver coach Mickey Joseph to tell Nebraska thanks but no thanks. As well, he needs to see if he can keep Corey Raymond, LSU's DB coach, a coach who most recruits see as the father of DBU, right? The bottom line is he needs to supplement his staff with assistants who know how to recruit Louisiana and the South and know how to coach against SEC competition. And I feel if he prioritizes the staff first, he has a better chance of saving the recruiting class and roster, right? Here's the thing about it. Some players are going to depart, leaving the remaining eligibility on the table because they got good enough tape to be drafted currently, right? Or some may hit the transfer portal, right? But at least a few presumably can be persuaded to stay. Brian Kelly needs to find them and persuade them to stay. The attrition in the LSU program during the past 2 years hasn't just damaged the past two teams as hamstrung Brian Kelly, right? Orgeron's departure surely will make some players uneasy, right? When they chose LSU, they chose to play for Orgeron. I know that isn't how recruiting is supposed to go, but that's how it goes currently. Kelly and the staff needs to convince them that they can still accomplish what they want to accomplish at LSU, not some other team, right? And this is all important because the early signing date is in 2 weeks. And LSU started losing commitments as soon as Orgeron was bought out in October. Maybe Kelly and staff can win back those who dropped their commitments. Maybe not. He has to get with Orgeron's staff, and maybe some of those on Orgeron's staff is his future staff, and see how many of Orgeron's commitments can stay committed or be brought back. They also had to zero in on the prime targets to fill out the class and identify recruits that may warrant more attention as potential replacements for these decommitments. One possible way to find Brian Kelly can find these replacements is with his former Notre Dame class, right? See if he can convince any of them to decommit to South Bend, Notre Dame, and come to Baton Rouge, right? Another way is the transfer portal, something Kelly should use to his benefit. The aforementioned attrition cannot be adequately mitigated with player retention in one freshman class, right? That's just not enough roster. Kelly needs to find SEC caliber experienced players in the transfer portal who can plug keyholes and accelerate the rebuilding of the roster, right? And that's the other thing, right? As we've seen, big time players are entering the portal every offseason and making an immediate impact with their new teams. As well, maybe some of his former Notre Dame players may follow him to LSU, right? Who knows? And as I said at the start, he needs his identity, right? The reason Orgeron is not the head coach anymore is that he tried to replicate the 2019 season and tried to not improve. He didn't improve, right? He tried to chase 2019, and that was his downfall. As well, LSU has had some black eyes in recent years, including a recruiting investigation and inadequate response to accusations of sexual abuse. These problems happen both on Les Miles and Orgeron's watch, right? Kelly needs to go out of his way to show that a priority of his will will be to improve the image of the football program, and that will start with him. A good way for Kelly to start forming his identity besides his staff, right, is to improve the trenches, right? The best LSU teams, like the best football teams anywhere, have had really good offensive and defensive lines, right? That's how you win in college, right, with your lines. Ohio State had a high power offense, right? But Alabama with their butts due to their line not being that great, right? And here's the thing about it. Kelly's coming from Notre Dame. When you think O linemen, you think Notre Dame due to their success these past few, drafts and seasons, right? Another way to help this identity is to keep DBU strong. Derek Stingley Jr. is going to the NFL draft, right? It's time for the rookie. It's time for the other DBs that LSU has to step up, right? LSU is well known for producing NFL caliber defensive backs, right? But it hasn't been the case as much recently for mostly the same reason as the Lions, right? Focus on DBs. Keep, DBU's, main guy, right? And coach him up. Then finally, he needs to get invested in the culture of LSU, right? He doesn't need to end every interview with "Go Tigers," right? In fact, he'd probably be better off avoiding that. So he needs to quickly abolish those rumors he faked a Louisiana accent at a basketball game, yes. Because here's the thing about it. He's not Ogeron. He's not Cajun. He's not from Louisiana. Neither was Les Miles. And he quickly integrated himself to locals by being genuine and winning. Ogeron was Louisiana, and that helped. Some might be leery of someone from South Bend replacing O for these reasons, right? So he should go out of his way to prove them wrong. And a good way to prove them wrong is to keep winning. And hopefully he figures out his strategy to make sure he can stay winning, right? But that will be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was spurred the moment. It was just something I thought about doing, and I'm doing it now. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Next video, maybe some video game related if I can record it properly. But if not, next video is 49ers related. Seahawks, baby, But yeah, see you guys, next time. If you want, follow me on Twitter. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, helps the channel grow. Goal is 20 subscribers by the end of the year. I think I can easily get to that. And if you guys want to support me in reaching that goal, subscribe if you haven't already. And see you guys next time.